Good morning, my dear students. This is my first class after class test 3. Today, I will discuss the third part of cyber ethics. First one, digital property right, and the second one, software licenses. My first topic is digital property right. When I'm talking about the digital property right, it means what? The right given to someone in digital way. Got it? Yes. Now you can see the definition. What is digital property right? Digital right also refers to the access and control of digital information. Digital property includes data, internet accounts, and other rights in the digital world, including contractual rights and intellectual properties right. Students, when I'm talking about the digital right, it refers to the relationship between the copyrighted digital work. It can be film, related to film, music, or arts, or whatever, and the user's permission. What is the relationship? That is the relationship between the copyrighted digital work and the user's permission, and the right related to computers, networks, and electronic devices. Students, digital right also refers to the access and control of digital information. Certain digital rights, or you can say digital right management subcategories, are of growing concern, my dear, such as information privacy, internet privacy, and freedom of information. If I'm talking about the digital property, then datas, I'm not talking about the datas, I'm talking about your informations pertaining to the pictures, text, video, audio, whatever, that must be protected. No any unauthorized user will access your important information unless you have not shared to him. Okay. Now, data are the files and information stored and used by computers, such as emails, word processing documents, data, that means database of files, pictures, audios, movies, whatever you can say it. This data may be stored, my dear, locally on a computer's hard disk, or on removable drive like your pen drive, CDs, whatever you can see, or data may be shared, yes, remotely, and access over a internet. That means if you have shared your data with the Google Drive, Dropbox, then that data you can share from anywhere. But Wherever you are storing your data, that data must be secure. Only you will be the authorized person who will access the data, or to whom you have given the permission. Only that person can access your data. Yes. Now, the next part, that is protection of digital property right. Yes. So, what are the rights that are given to the owner and how it can be protected? Now, you see, I have given here 3 points. Using this, you can protect your data, you can protect your right. What are that rights? First one, using a software escrow. I will discuss what is escrow. Next one, using a digital right management solution. And the last one is anti-hacker software. First one, you have to know what is a software escrow. First of all, you have to know what is escrow. If I'm saying escrow, that means other document kept in the custody of a third party and taking effect only when a specified condition has been fulfilled. You are giving this right to the third party, okay, for your protection of your data, my dear. But when you have to access those data, then whatever, yes, protection that you have given for the software, that is for given as the password, then you yourself also have to access via the password. Okay. Now, the first part that I said, using a software screw. Now, what is this? Software screw, if I'm saying, it is also known as technology screw. Understood? It is for both the developer and the licensee to migrate risk when negotiating, my dear, a software or technology license. Okay, with the software screw, my dear, contract, the developer source code is managed in a secure screw account held by a designated, neutral, and the trusted third party. Just now I discussed about the third party. If the developer is enabled to support the product in the future, yes, so for reasons specified in the escrow agreement, such as you can say bankruptcy, merger, or acquisitions, the licensee will be able to access the source code to keep their business up and running. The main goal is to get the end user up and running without the technology is on premises or software as a service. Now, the second part, that is using a DRM solution, how it can be protected. So when I'm talking about the DRM, that is digital management solution. DRM is an acronym for digital right management. It is an umbrella, my dear, term that refers to access, control technologies used by the publishers and copyright holders to limit uses of digital media or devices. Students, it may also refers to restrictions associated with specific instances of digital works or devices. The next topic, that is anti-hacker software. You know, if you are not having this, maybe whatever the keys that you press, yes, those keys will be hacked by an unauthorized user. So what is anti-hacker software? Anti-hacker software can be used, my dear, to protect digital assets and whatever digital assets that you know it, such as it can be proprietary software, applications, tools, whatever you can say. I'm giving one example. Yes, that is also the part of anti-hacker software. This is Ghostpress. Ghostpress. Now, what is Ghostpress? Ghostpress is an anti-hacker software, my dear. Understood? But it is anti-keylogger tool. This is designed to prevent your keystrokes from being captured. That means whatever the keys that you will press, and if you have this software, it will protect you. It includes a security measure also that prevent any attack in future. Now, students, the next part is software license. You can see here the definition. Software licensing is a form of contract between a person in a company that creates a type of software and the person who downloads or buys the software to use for his or her own purposes. Students, software licensing exists to protect a copyright of software and can restrict the way that the user can use it. In general, the restrictions consist of copying the software or having it installed on more than one device. Okay, making any changes to the software or altering the code is also a violation of a software license. Like, I have given the software to you. This is the paid software, and what you are doing with that software, you are altering the code, you are changing the code, modifying the code, and giving the shape of a new software and selling this one in the market. It is also the violation. Got it? Now, making any changes, already I said, altering whatever, that should not be done from your end. Otherwise, you will be in problem, my dear. Understood? Any software that has the copyright and is covered by a license is done through different methods. Meanings you can say there are different types of licensing that can be used, my dear. I'm going to discuss. You see, what are that proprietary softwares you can see? Proprietary software, also known as non-free software or closed source software. is a computer software for which the software's publisher or another person retains intellectual property rights, usually copyright of the source code. Now, some examples are your Microsoft Windows. Yes, this is a paid software, but you cannot change the code. Adobe Flash Maker, Adobe Photoshop. These all are the proprietary software. When I'm saying proprietary software, that means the paid software. It is not free. But when I'm talking about the open source, then the software is free. Now, what is the free software license? A free software license is a notice that grants the recipient of a piece of software extensive right to modify and redistribute that software. The best example is your Linux, Unix. These are open source software. These are not to be purchased like how you purchase for Windows operating system. Here you will be getting free. These softwares are not the paid software. Whatever changing you want, you are free to do. Understood? The best example I can say Python. Python, I hope you have done Python in standard 9. Now, what is Python? Python is also an open source programming language. Here, you have to not buy. You go to the site and directly you can download it. Even if it required to change the source code, you are free to do it. I hope you have understood this all topics, my dear. Thank you, my